Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Laura Jackson. I am the host and creator of Little Yo Pod, and we are going to do another video today on things that I like to bring on a day hike in Yosemite National Park or the Sierra Nevada mountains. This list kind of goes for that whole area. This is just kind of what I have found has worked for me over the years. So the idea here is to give you some ideas, but not to copy this list entirely. So I want to start with my bag. So this is a backpack that I just got from Sierra Trading Post, and it's a low alpine, and this is kind of a neat one. It's a top loader. It's got a big mouth at the top here. It has one pocket on the inside, and it's very simple. That's it, pretty much. So the backpack is the first thing. Find something that you like, that is comfortable, that you're going to be able to wear for up to, maybe 10 hours on a day hike. So you definitely want comfort to be the main thing here. Yeah, people get these backpacks with a ton of pockets all over them, and I don't really find that's very helpful. I think it's really easy to lose things or like not know what you have when you have a bunch of pockets, because if it's not something you use all the time, so you're going to be spending a lot of time looking for things, whereas this is just one big pocket. It's all kind of within sight. So the next thing I bring is a hat. I always bring a hat and sunglasses. And so this is my hat. It's just, this was on sale at REI, obviously. It's all synthetic material, so if it gets wet, it'll dry out really quickly, and when you're hiking, you tend to sweat a lot. So the recommendation here is to not get a cotton hat, but get something synthetic, because if you are sweating and you get that cotton all wet, your head's gonna end up getting really cold later on if the temperature drops. So I would go for synthetic if at all possible. Water bottle. So I bring one water bottle, and this actually is not one that I would bring. This is just what I had on hand. This is 1 liter, so I would bring a minimum of 1 liter. And what I like to bring are just actually Aquafina bottles, or those Gatorade 1 liter bottles are really good too, because those are pretty heavy and durable, but they're much lighter than these. This is a Nalgene, and I only bring one. And that is my preference, because I don't like to carry a lot of weight, so I don't bring multiple water bottles unless I'm backpacking, and even then I only fill one at a time. In the Sierra Nevada, there's a lot of water, running streams pretty much on every trail that I've ever been on. I've never run out of water. I just basically, every time I'm at a stream, and I'm like halfway down, I'll finish the rest of that bottle and then fill up, and then I will purify my water from there, which seems like a good opportunity to talk about water purification systems. Everyone has their own that they prefer. I've used filters in the past, but I found that these are the thing that works best for me. And this is these are Katadyn MicroPure tablets. And so one of these tablets, this is a pack of 2, this will purify 1 liter of water. And you want to make sure that you're always purifying your water when you're getting them out of streams. I do, no matter what, no matter where I am in the mountains. I know some people don't, but it's just better to be safe than sorry. What you're defending yourself against here is stuff that ends up in the water, like waste, like human waste or animal waste. Giardia is a big problem in the Sierra Nevada mountains, so I would never recommend drinking out of a stream, especially places where there are a lot of people. Just purify your water. Let's just leave it at that. And I bring this whole bundle, and this is, I don't know, this probably will purify like 10 to 12 liters of water, which is more than enough. I think for a day hike, I'm lucky if I get in 3 liters. That's the other thing. This is why it's specific to me. I don't drink a lot of water. I'm a pretty small person. I don't sweat a lot, so I don't need as much water as other people. If you're someone who drinks a lot of water, this is something you need to know about yourself, and you need to know that you need to bring extra water to make up for the water that you'll inevitably be losing because you're going to be working hard and sweating. So this is like my bag of hiking essentials, and it's just in this old bag. I've had the same bag for years now, And it's just like, this is the stuff I just always have. It's like my little go bag, and my water purification tablets go in here as well. So basically, like if I grab nothing else, if I just grab this bag and put it in my backpack, I'm going to be good for the day. This and a water bottle, and I'll probably be good. Next thing is the head net. And this is for bugs, for mosquitoes mostly. And when you pair this with a hat, it's perfect. And you look kind of like a freak when you're wearing this and you're hiking. But if it's really buggy out, I guarantee you, if you have this, you will be getting looks of envy. I feel like there have been people that have almost stolen this off of me when I've been hiking and they've been like inundated with mosquitoes. Bug spray is just not very effective in my opinion, and it's really gross. So I don't actually bring bug spray either. That's something that you'll have to consider for yourself. I always bring a disposable rain poncho, and I rarely have to use these, but when I do, I'm very grateful that I have them. And I choose these because they're so light. They're easy to carry. I have a few so that if I have to use one, and I'll use one a few times before it degrades completely and has to be tossed. I know this is plastic waste, but it's the lightest, best option that I found, and something that I never forget to bring. You just have to remember to replace it if you end up using it. Hand sanitizer, just kind of always good to have with you. This is not ground ginger. This is actually salt, and this is just iodized salt. I didn't have a salt container. So salt is really important when you're hiking and sweating. So this really helps to replenish your electrolyte balance, and you can just put a little bit in your water. Maybe like once a day, you just salt your water a little bit. I had a electrolyte imbalance one time when I went backpacking or hiking, and I ended up feeling pretty sick. So this is kind of a serious thing because I feel like I'm a really resilient hiker, and that even knocked me down once. So just bring that just in case. So also, I like to bring a few pieces of hard candy, and this is in case someone is hypoglycemic or something. Just having some hard candy helps people, especially if they're at elevation or working harder than they usually do and they're not feeling very well. Giving them a little piece of candy will usually boost their blood sugar a little bit and help them to feel better, at least until you can get them somewhere safe. I bring my compact. These are just mirrors because I like to look at myself. Yeah, these are for signaling, just in case. You can see that's the effect that we're looking for. If you get lost, this is a really good way to signal rescue workers, because they're usually looking for you during the daytime and not at night, so it's a lot easier to see a mirror. This is kind of my bag of first aid essentials, and this is what I did was I went and I bought a first aid kit at the dollar store, and then I just opened it and put it in this bag for less bulk. And then with this, so I don't know what exactly is in here. It's like some Band-Aids and gauze and Q-tips and alcohol pads. It's just very basic stuff. And then I also bring this is my wilderness medicine field guide, and this is from Knowles. You can actually buy this on their website, and I have a link for this on my Patreon page in my list of backpacking essentials, so you can find the link for that there if you're interested, or you just go to the Knowles website and look for the wilderness medicine field guide. It's really nice. It's waterproof. This has just like basic first aid stuff, like for the field. So things that you can do to help people or assess them to find out like what is going on if someone is sick or injured while you're hiking. Always bring a lighter or some way to start a fire in case you get lost. Or you need to start a fire for whatever reason. Yeah, I got lost one time and I thought I would have to stay the night in the backcountry, and I was really glad that I had this specific lighter with me. So I would recommend bringing a lighter or some way to start a fire. I don't think I would recommend flint, just because that's just really difficult to use, and if you're tired and afraid, it's a lot easier to make a fire using a lighter or a match. This is the only pocket knife that I bring. It's very small. It's got like the tiniest little knife, which is not something I use too often, but I do use these a lot. And these are the best mini scissors I've ever used. I use these to cut up a pair of jeans, an entire pair of like Levi's one time when I was doing wilderness medicine training or wilderness first responder training. Also in this bag, I have 3 AAA batteries that I bring as a backup for my headlamp. This is my headlamp. I don't remember the model of this headlamp, but it's not anything special. It's black diamond. I think it was, I don't know, $20. So what I would recommend when you're buying a headlamp is to make sure that it has the lock feature on it. And a red light, that's good too. Let's see if this will work. There we go. So there. So if you just hold the power button down for a few seconds, it should lock. And so when you're hiking, sometimes this can turn on, but if it's in the locked mode and you hit the power button, it's not going to turn on. And then you won't lose your battery when it's in your bag. And then just to get it out of lock mode, you just hold the button down for a while again, and then should unlock it. So this one has like a few different settings. You know, there's really bright, and then there's the red for night vision. I also like to, if I'm just day hiking, I like to bring a pair of binoculars. I am a bit of a birder. I like to look at the mountains too through these. These are pretty heavy. They're waterproof and shockproof. I think they're from Celestron, the Outland X. But these are heavy. I mean, these are like a couple pounds at least. But for day hikes, since I don't carry that much water, I think that adding this little bit of extra weight is worth it. I also like to bring, this kind of goes with that, this field guide. This is the John Muir Laws Sierra Nevada Field Guide, or I've heard it referred to as the Bible of the Sierra Nevada. This just has all kinds of information. This is probably one of the prettiest, most visually pleasing field guides that has ever existed. This is a masterpiece. If you are a Yosemite or Sierra Nevada enthusiast, you have to get this book. I just love this book so much. I think if I only had to keep one book in my life, it would be this one. I always bring a paper map. I know that there are a lot of apps now that tell you exactly where you are when you're hiking, and those are, you know, great, super handy, but batteries die. So I don't, and also I wouldn't become too reliant on GPS, because sometimes I use Gaia, and that's a subscription service app, and it's supposed to be awesome, but it still has bugs, and I will find sometimes I'll be using it, and if I don't have reception, which is almost always the case when you're hiking in Yosemite, it's almost useless. I mean, I don't know if I'm just not using it right, but I've downloaded the maps, I've done all the things. I just don't feel like it should be that hard to use. I feel like I'm a fairly intelligent person. Look at these glasses. I feel like I know how to use it, and sometimes when I'm trying to see where I am on the map, it'll put me somewhere else. And I'll know I'm somewhere else because I'm familiar with the area. So it's like, this isn't right, actually. And that can be kind of dangerous. So bring a map and learn how to read it too. And always bring a physical compass too. I made the mistake of using a compass on my phone one time, and I got lost. And I ended up having to use the North Star to find my way home, because I got way lost, and I just had my phone, and I didn't expect to get lost. And my phone, you know, I was using it all day, listening to music and listening to podcasts while I was hiking, and using it for my compass, and it ended up at the end, you know, the hike turned out to be like 20 hours, and or maybe not that long, maybe like 15, but my phone was pretty much dead by the end. So I wouldn't count on phones when you're out there. I mean, they're great tools, but they're a finite resource. They're only as good as their charge and reception, if we're being honest. So bring a map and a compass. And I actually can't find my compass. I think it broke, so I'm gonna get a new compass and a good one. So that's another good point. Check your gear before you go out every season. So I mentioned that I don't take any bug spray or sunscreen when I'm hiking, and that's a personal choice. I just don't like it. I put sunscreen on my face at the beginning of the day, and then I'm pretty much good. I don't need to reapply because I wear my hat and my sunglasses. So that tends to keep me pretty well covered. And I also wear this. This is a sun shirt from Patagonia, and it's got a hood. So this also helps to protect my neck and my arms. This also is a good defense against mosquitoes, and it's really light. It's a sun shirt, so it's not hot. And this is also synthetic material, so it gets really smelly, but it dries out very quickly, and it's just super light, and you won't overheat in this. So this is what I wear to protect me from the sun and from bugs, and I really don't like bug spray. I don't like putting things that are that harsh on my skin, so I opt for this instead, and that keeps me safe. Plus the head net if I need a defense against bugs. And then I also bring a bandana, and this thing is multifunctional. For one thing, we all know what we use it for when we're hiking today, right? Yeah. Oh, it smells good. I just washed it. Right, so this is a good face cover for when you're hiking. You don't want to get COVID while you're out on the trail, but you can also use this when you're backpacking for so many things. But I also use it in case I'm filtering water and I'm purifying water, because I only use the tablets. Sometimes sediment can get in there. I'll use this to filter it out. So I just like throw this over the top, and then I'll put that in the stream, and that'll help to catch all the sediment. And then I just throw a water purification tablet in there and wait 30 minutes, and then it's safe to drink with no floaties in it. So that's good for that too. Also, if it's like really hot, you can dip this. This is cotton, so it holds on to water for a while. You dip this in a stream, throw it over your neck, and that cools you down really nicely. So there's just like endless functions. You can use it as a tourniquet. Just always bring a bandana, and it also looks cool in your back pocket. What else? Oh, I'm getting a little older now, so this is something I wouldn't have brought when I was younger, but something I always bring now, and those are my trekking poles. And these are they're women's specific Black Diamond. There's a link for these also on my blog post on my Patreon page for backpacking essentials. And these are women's, they're specific, they're short. It's just trekking poles they make such a huge difference. You'll notice here I put these are also my ski poles. So I put a little piece of tape on here because when I was riding the ski lift and I had to get my poles out really quick, or when I got off the lift, because you're not supposed to have them on, but when I got off the lift and I just wanted to like zip down the mountain right away, I knew which one was my right hand, and I would just like slip my hands in there real quick and I was down the hill. So the way that you size trekking poles is you should have your arm at a 90-degree angle. The cat's here. So for me, that means that these are set to, I think it's 110 centimeters. Yep. I know. He doesn't usually hang out. Oh no, it's 105. I think I'm so tall. Alrighty, so 105 centimeters is usually the length that I need. And then to wear these bad boys, excuse me, let me get adjusted here. You're gonna put your hand through the bottom. So this is how it's hanging here. You put your hand up through the bottom and then you hold the pole like that. That just kind of gives you some leverage. And here, this is at 105 centimeters. It's almost a 90-degree angle, maybe there, but this is pretty good. So I don't really need to even adjust this. Once it's at this setting, that's usually where I leave it. Trekking poles, great to bring. Save your knees. You don't want to get surgery by the time you're 40. And I think that because I've been using these for so long, that's why I'm able to hike still and not feel too bad physically. One more thing that I always bring, because I get cold very easily, and that is my puffy coat. So just bring an extra layer. That can just be a hoodie or whatever you're comfortable with. Again, try to stick with synthetic material. This is kind of a heavy coat. If I was just doing a day hike in Yosemite Valley around there, if I was doing like the Mist Trail, I wouldn't bring this, but Shelby, God, he's eating my plants. Shelby, get down, get down. God. And then of course food, and I don't have my food here. That's just your own personal preference. I generally bring anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 calories. It's mostly just Cliff Bars or almond butter or fruits and nuts and things like that. But make sure that you bring stuff that is salty. That's the most important thing, is the salt. You don't want to eat anything that's too high in protein, because protein is really hard to digest. So you want to eat things that are kind of like quick release energy, so carbohydrates are really good. And make sure it's things that you like to eat. I wouldn't experiment bringing a bunch of new food items that you've never tried before because you're hiking for the first time and it's like, this is what you're supposed to bring. Bring stuff that you like Fritos are totally okay and actually a great hiking food option. They've got it all. They've got salt, they've got fat, they've got carbohydrates. Yeah, Fritos are great. I would stay away from raw nuts. Those are good, but what you want is the salt and fat combo with those. So you want to get something that's roasted and salted. What else can you bring? I would not bring anything that was like perishable. I mean, like perishable foods like fruits and avocado are good, but like I wouldn't bring a tuna salad because there's like nothing really grosser than opening your hot backpack and having a hot tuna salad sandwich, and I don't even think that that's safe to eat. So things with like dressings and sauces, I would shy away from sandwiches unless you're going to be eating them like within the next 3 hours. Basic food safety here. I think that's it. I think that is everything that I bring on a day hike. I don't know if I missed anything, so if I did, please let me know. Or let me know what you like to bring on your hiking trips, or if you think that this list is totally bogus. I'm always up for suggestions. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. I want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out next week's Little Yo Pod. New episodes every first and third Wednesday of the month, and then come back here for new videos every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. And if you want even more Little Yo Pod or more of me, head on over to the Patreon page where I have bonus material and all of this material included as well.